Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I know it's been a while, I know I haven't filmed in a while, I know I haven't posted in the last 4 days. It's because I took a break from filming. I took a break, I wanted to hang out, I was too busy doing stuff, you know. Anyways, so welcome back to Freaky Friday episode 3. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. So in my past 2 videos, in my last Freaky Friday video, I talked about Jeffrey Dahmer. I talked about Jeffrey Dahmer, and then my first ever video on the series, I talked about Ted Bundy. So for those of you who don't know what the hell Freaky Friday is, let me explain. So Freaky Friday is where I sit down every Friday, well, try to every Friday, talk about cases, killers, all that stuff. So I have like a big actually I gotta see when this happens, because I have a big crime video that I really want to do, and I gotta figure out when the 13th is, because there is a big case video that I really want to talk about. I gotta see when the 13th is. Nope, it's not on it's a Wednesday. It's on, okay. Alright, so there is a case video that I really want to do. So it happened on the 13th. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is because I want to keep it a surprise. But yeah, so there is a case video. But today I have to go back to whatever I was on because I clicked out of the thing just to go to my calendar. Okay, but in today's video though, we're gonna be talking about Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. I had this planned about 2 weeks now. Two weeks. Yeah, it was after my Jeffrey Dahmer video. I'm like, who do I want to do next? Okay, because I thought about Richard Ramirez. I thought about doing the Night Stalker. I thought about doing him. So, alright, let me go back onto the thing that I was on, because honestly, I screwed up. I clicked out of the thing that I was on because I had to go on to I had to go back onto, because I had to search for the thing. I had to go on my calendar to see something. Yeah, so on the 13th, I think I might be posting a true crime video that day, because I'm not gonna spoil. Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys because I don't want to tell you guys what it is. So we're gonna keep that a surprise. All right. Anyway, let's talk about Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker. All right. So Richard Ramirez was born Ricardo Levea. Okay, by the way, guys, a little thing here. I may screw this up because I suck at reading last names. So if I'm gonna butcher some things here, probably. Who knows? All right, Munoz Ramirez on February 29th, 1960, in El Paso, Texas. I thought he was born in Mexico. All right. Anyway, known as Richard or Ricky, he was the 5th child of Mexican immigrants Mercedes and Julian Ramirez. Mercedes. Funny thing though, guys, a little thing. I actually, so we have this rented property that we rent out to people, and it was like a duplex, but there was like it was downstairs, and there was this lady who had like 2 daughters, and one of them was Mercedes, and I thought it was a weird name because Mercedes is a car. Now, I'm not making fun of names because I'm not that type of person, but I just thought it was very weird you can name a kid named after a car. It's weird. Although it's 2025, you can name your kid anything. I would name my kid a dinosaur. No, I would name my kid Pterodactyl. Or Chihuahua. Who cares? Alright, anyway. Richard Ramirez reportedly sustained multiple head injuries at an early age after he was knocked unconscious by a swing at age 5. He began experiencing explosive fits. Damn. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to do my whole disclaimer thing. Disclaimer. This video, I don't know, I don't know what's gonna come out of this, but I just want to say this video may have some stuff in it that's gonna be kind of graphic and a whole bunch of other stuff that if you guys are not comfortable with this video, you may want to click out or come back for the next Freaky Friday video, because this video may contain some stuff that you don't want to hear. Yep, just letting you know. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't watched any videos on Richard Ramirez. I mean, I know who he is. I know what he did, but stay with me. Alright, as an adolescent, Ramirez was heavily influenced by his older cousin Miguel. Typical, Spanish name. Who had recently returned from fighting in the Vietnam War. The two smoked marijuana together as Miguel told Ramirez about the torture and mutilation he inflicted on several Vietnamese women. That is hard to pronounce. Vietnamese. I don't know, guys. I suck at reading shit. So that's what came out of me. I know how to read, guys, but I'm butchering stuff out because I don't know. All right, corroborating these stories with photographic evidence at age 13, Ramirez witnessed his cousin kill his wife. Miguel Ramirez was found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity and released 4 years later. Dropping out of school in 9th grade, Ramirez was arrested for the first time in 1977 for marijuana possession. That is very fucked up. He sees his cousin kill his wife, and then that's messed up. All right, I know. Okay, I know this. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a little story about this stuff. So my grandpa told me a story about somebody he knew actually killed his pregnant wife, and then this guy ended up hanging himself. I forgot who he is, but my grandpa ended up telling me a story. I thought it was, I know you're probably wondering what does this have to do with Richard Ramirez? I just wanted to tell you guys because I just read that sentence where he saw his cousin kill his wife, and yeah, I don't know, it's messed up. All right, anyway, back to him getting arrested. He soon moved to California, formed a cocaine addiction, possessed to burglary, and cultivated an interest in Satanism. I'm not gonna go any further. That's it. Alright, anyway, I know, guys. I know. With true crime, that's what I feel like every killer there's always a thing that they get into, like cocaine, drugs, sex, fetishes, men, women, sex fantasies. I know I said sex, but fantasies. Looking up killers. Luring people. I don't know. It's a long list, guys. Okay, but seriously though, Satanism is a big one. Which I don't know. I mean, it's gonna sound weird for me if I say I support it, considering I have an Ouija board upstairs and I like playing with it. And I believe in paranormal stuff, but who cares? Anyway, I'm not gonna get judged. If any of y'all judge me for that, here's the thing. I love paranormal stuff. I watch true crime documentaries. They're fun. I watch Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, if you guys say, "Oh, you look like a normal person," if you guys look at me imagine walking on the streets and you see me for the first time and you're like, "Oh yeah, that person looks normal." No, I'm not that normal person, guys. I'm not that normal. I'm the type of person who likes watching true crime documentaries. I'm the person who likes watching TLC. I'm the person who likes watching body cam footage videos and just like enjoying it like it's a movie. I like researching all kinds of stuff. Like true crime stuff and a whole bunch of other stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not that normal, guys. Trust me. Alright, he was arrested twice in Los Angeles area for auto theft in 1981 and again in 1984, and noticeably began to neglect his personal hygiene. Gross. Then again, I feel like every killer does. Okay, not making fun of the dead. Oh wait, this guy's already dead. Alright, murders. Alright, theft turned into violence with Ramirez's first discovered murder on June 28th, 1984. The victim was 7-year-old 79-year-old Jenny Vinco. Vinco? I think it's Vincow. I don't know. Who was sexually assaulted, stabbed, and killed during a burglary in her home. In her home. What followed was a spree of brutal murders, dozen rapes and robberies, leaving dozens of victims in his wake. Ramirez next struck nearly 9 months later. On March 17, 1985, he attacked Maria Hernandez. I don't know, guys. Okay, I think it's Hernandez, who managed to escape, and then killed her roommate Dale Okazica. I don't know how to pronounce it, guys. It's like so hard to pronounce. 34. Not satisfied with these assaults, he also shot and killed Tazia Lane Yu, 30, the same evening, spurring a media frenzy that saw Ramirez dubbed the Valley Intruder by the press. Just 10 days later, on March 27th, Ramirez murdered 64 Vincent Zerara and Zerara's 44-year-old wife, Maxine, using an attack style that would become a pattern for the killer. Oh my god. So he's like Golden State Killer. I'm pretty sure the Golden State Killer is like, Golden State Killer. I'm pretty sure he was around that time. I think I might do a video on him. I don't know. If you guys don't know, let me explain who the Golden State Killer is. So this guy basically, Golden State Killer was a guy who basically, he was kind of like Richard Ramirez, except for he went by 3 things. He went by, East Area Rapist, he went by something Ransacker, I forgot what that was called, but apparently he was like East Area Rapist, Ransacker, and Golden State Killer. So first he was a Ransacker, this Golden State Killer. He was like a Ransacker. So basically he would go into people's houses. He wouldn't steal anything, but he would just like ransack their house. He would just like take not expensive stuff, but like a little bit of stuff, like something stupid. And then he became a rapist. I'm not going to go into I'm not going into what that is, because I'm pretty sure all you guys know what that is. And I'm not going to say. But the thing he would do, though, is like, alright, so if women are home alone, he would do stuff to them. But if they were married, and so if their husband was sleeping next to them, the Golden State Killer. He wasn't called a Golden. I'm just gonna say Golden State Killer because honestly, I'm not gonna. Because honestly, yeah, I'm not gonna say the other thing. I don't want to get this channel I don't want to get this channel in trouble. I don't want to get this video in trouble. Okay, so basically, what he would do with their husbands is that he would tie them up. Well, actually, he would make the women tie them up, and then he would put plates on top of them saying, "Hey, just letting you know, if you move, I kill you or I kill your wife." And then he would take the women to like the other room and do something to them. Honestly, that if I was a guy in that situation, I'd be like, I would just be on the floor thinking all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I would like be thinking many things. Like, oh, I could have stopped this guy if I had something. You know, I don't know. Yeah, so then he became Golden State Killer, which, if you guys can go on the internet, you guys can, there's actually creepy audio of this guy. If you look up Golden State Killer creepy audio or something on YouTube, then, yeah. He did get caught, though. He was identified who he was. He was actually an ex-police officer or something. I think he was a police officer. I forgot the whole story. But, yeah, I've actually read a book called, I actually read a book that was based on that. I'll have to tell you guys at the end of this video. Alright, anyway, back to Richard Ramirez. I don't know. I had to compare this case a little bit, because honestly, this guy would do all kinds of stuff. Alright, anyway. Alright. Attack style that would become a pattern for the killer. The husband was shot first, then the wife was brutally assaulted and stabbed to death. In this case, Ramirez also gouged out Maxine's eyes. Jesus Christ. A full-scale police operation yielded no concrete results, and Ramirez repeated his attack patterns to on retirees William and Lillian Doy in May 1985. Over the next few months, his murder rate escalated, claiming another dozen victims in a frenzy of burglary, assault, and brutal violence, complete with satanic rituals. Yeah, guys, he's a Satanist. That's what Satanists do. They do satanic rituals. I'm hoping he didn't drink any goat's blood. If none of y'all know how that works, then I don't know. It's just basic cult stuff, you know, just getting a goat, drinking its blood, doing all kinds of rituals, you know. Okay. I don't know how I know any of this, guys, but whatever. The Los Angeles Police Department responded by putting together a dedicated task force with the FBI stepping in to assist. The relentless media and police pressure aided the descriptions from surviving victims, forced Ramirez to leave LA area that August. He journeyed north to San Francisco, where he took two more victims, Peter and Barbara Pan, 66 and 64 respectively, on August 17th. His unmistakable M.O., complete with satanic symbols, meant that the, quote, valley intruder, quote, monarchy was no longer acceptable. Capable? I don't know. The pressure quickly coined a new name, the Night Stalker. The hell? Oh. Yeah, sorry guys, it's just my air conditioner. It sounds like someone's slamming a door, but it's not. As most of his assaults took place at night in his victims' homes. Alright, the arrest of Richard Ramirez. Alright, the arrest. Yeah, the arrest of Richard Ramirez. Ramirez's actions on his final night of terror, August 24th, 1985, in the Los Angeles area, soon led to his capture. First, he was spotted outside of Mission Vigio home. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, because I gotta learn how to read, even though I know how to read. Where he was he unwittingly left a footprint. Wow. That's okay. He left a footprint before a witness took a note on his car and license plate. Okay, honestly, guys, if you want to commit, it's not like any of you guys would do this, but if you ever wanted to, let's just say if crime was, so let's just say you want to commit a crime, right, and you want to rob a house or whatever, sure, let's go with that. So you basically want to rob a house. Don't go to an area where you basically, there's like dirt, there's mud, whatever, don't go to an area like that, because then you're gonna put, like, a footprint, and you're gonna get caught so damn quick. Honestly, I have done so many things, like, where this is why I wear shoes with, nothing on the bottom of my shoes, because I wear shoes with nothing on the bottom of it, because, so I don't, like, leave footprints and all that crap. Well, I mean, I haven't been wearing shoes in, like, last few weeks or so, because, I don't leave the house. I haven't been leaving the house. Alright, anyway. Later, after Ramirez raped another woman at her home and shot her fiancé, the victim provided a detailed description of her assailant, who forced her to swear her love for Satan. Once again, he's a Satanist. Honestly, I feel like I would definitely do that. No, just kidding. Guys, do not become a Satanist. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, I support you, but for those of you who aren't a Satanist, I highly encourage you not to do that. I'm not making fun of people. I don't know. I'm just protective. I don't know. Alright, Ramirez's abandoned car was found a few days later, complete with enough of a fingerprint to make a match, and his criminal record enabled the police to finally put a name to the Night Stalker. National TV and print media coverage featuring his prison photo, along with a series of clues from witnesses and survivors, led to Ramirez's capture on August 31st, after he was badly beaten by East Los Angeles Los Angeles residents while attempting 2 carjackings. Wow. Alright, trial, conviction, and sentencing. Ramirez waited in jail as his trial was continuously pushed off, the delay marked by a series of motions and bickering between the prosecutors and defense attorney before the geographer. Oh my god, I screwed this up horribly. Geographical. I don't know. This is a tongue twister. I'm gonna skip that word. Graphical. Okay, geographical. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I never took geography. I know. In my school, you could take geography, but I never took geography. Actually, I don't think my school even had geography. I'm thinking of geometry, but who knows? Spread of the crimes also complicated the scope of the trial and jurisdictional issues. Some of the charges against Ramirez were dropped in order to expedite? Alright, I don't know. What was becoming a long journey to justice. The jury section process finally moved forward on July 22nd, 1988, with the trial itself commenced the following January. I suck. During this time, Ramirez attracted a cult-like following of supporters. Yep, once again, guys, he's a Satanist. So, this is what happens. Because it happens with a lot of people who support Satanism. They get a cult. And will anything happen? Probably. I don't know. I might talk about in future videos. I might be talking about like cult leaders. I might actually do that if you guys want me to, because cults interest me a lot. Like I don't know. They just interest me. I don't know. It's a religion and all that stuff. But I don't know. It just interests me. I might do like videos on cult people later. As in future videos. Alright, anyway, back to what I was reading. Many of whom were black hat Satan worshippers. Ramirez himself often dressed in black along with dark shades for his courtroom appearances. Shades, as in glasses. Yet another daily occurred when one juror was also found murdered on August 14th, 1989, but rumors that Ramirez had orchestrated her death proved unfounded. On September 20th, 1989, the jury finally returned a unanimous guilty verdict on 43 charges, including 13 counts of murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, 11 sexual assault charges, and 14 burglary charges. 2 weeks later, the same jury recommended the death sentence on 19 counts. Leaving the courtroom, Richard Ramirez responded, quote, "Hey, big deal. Death always comes with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland," end quote. Oh my goodness, that's an interesting quote right there. I've heard a lot of interesting quotes, like death quotes, like whenever people are gonna death row. And Richard Ramirez thinks he's going to go to Disneyland. In hell. Probably. The convicted murderer was formally sentenced to death by gas chamber on November 7th, 1989, and was sent to San Quentin prison in California to spend the remainder of his days. Okay, I got a question here. What prisons actually have gas chambers? Because I've heard of this a little bit, but I have no idea like what prisons actually have this. Because I heard of electric chairs, I've heard of prisons hanging people, fire squad. I've also heard people getting the lethal injection. I don't know. If you guys know what prisons have this, leave them in the comments below, because I have no idea what prisons have gas chambers. Because yeah, I don't know. You guys would have to leave me in the comments below. Because I've heard of the basic stuff, like hanging and all that stuff. Alright, Richard Ramirez's teeth. That was pretty interesting. Richard Ramirez's teeth was the most notable aspect of his poor hygiene, and even contribute. All right, as I previously read this, guys, as I previously mentioned, Richard Ramirez had like poor hygiene, which I'm guessing he didn't. I'm guessing by poor hygiene, I'm guessing he didn't bathe. I'm guessing he didn't take care of his hair. Yeah. Hi, Mia. Oh great, my cat's running in here. Sorry guys, I had to say hi to my cat. She just ran in here. Cat, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Yeah, she's on like the nightstand. She's like on this end table here. She's just looking out the window. I don't know what she's doing. Alright, anyway. He'd even contribute. Hi, Mia. Oh, where you going? Okay. I don't know, guys. I had to stop and say hi to my cat. Alright, anyway, so even contributed to his capture and conviction. According to forensic dentists, 9 of his teeth were decayed and several others were missing. Damn. So, I wonder how many teeth he had left, considering... Okay, so, he had 9 of his teeth were decayed and several others were missing. So, I might have to do math after this. Alright, so this was due to the combination of his poor diet and cocaine addiction. At least 2 survivors, including Lily and Doy, told police Richard Ramirez had bad teeth following their encounters. Well, yeah, considering he had bad hygiene. During Ramirez's trial, his father claimed his son was in El Paso, Texas, in May 1985, when he had allegedly raped 3 women and murdered 1. However, the records from the Los Angeles dentist's office show Ramirez had appeared for an appointment on May 30th. According to A&E, if you guys don't know what A&E is, it's basically a true crime thing. Yeah, A&E True Crime. That's what it is. Richard Ramirez's dental health actually approved after his arrest, as a dentist from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department performed a root canal and made several fillings while he awaited his trial. I'm guessing he got his missing teeth replaced. Alright, final years, life and death. While incarcerated, Richard Ramirez married one of his supporters, 41-year-old Doreen Loy, in 1996. Okay, this is another thing that I'm really curious about. So, can you get married if you're in prison? Like, I've heard of, because I don't know. This is like another thing I question about. Because back when Gypsy Rose Blanchard was in prison, she had a boyfriend, and then I think they got engaged or something, and then they, like, broke up, and then she ended up meeting another guy, and then she married him, and then they broke up, and then she went back to her first boyfriend. So, I'm guessing you can't get married. I don't know. Like, in my Jeffrey Dahmer video, I mentioned that Jeffrey Dahmer got baptized while he was in prison, which I didn't know you can do. There's, like, many things I question about prison. Like, I question about many things. Like, I don't know. I question many things about prison. I'm curious. I'm never gonna go to prison. I'm never gonna go to jail. Cause, yeah, I'm never gonna go to jail. I'm never gonna go to prison. Yep. So, I'm guessing you can get married? I'm guessing you can get married in jail. Yeah. I feel like Chris Watts is gonna do this in jail. I don't know. I don't know. I think Chris Watts might actually do this in prison. Who knows? I don't know. Yep. Okay. If you guys don't know who Chris Watts, oh my god, I'm not gonna explain who Chris Watts is because of reasons. I'm not gonna go through this whole thing because that's gonna be a whole new video. That's gonna be a whole different video. I'm not gonna tell you guys when I'm gonna upload that video. You guys can figure that out on your own. Cause I'm not telling you when I'm gonna upload that video. Maybe next week. I don't know. Hush. I'm not gonna tell you when. Stop asking. Stop asking when I'm gonna upload that video. Shush. Alright, anyway. Lloyd believed Richard Ramirez was innocent. Just like all the women who support Chris Watts. He's innocent. He didn't do that. He didn't murder him. He didn't murder his family. He didn't do that. He didn't do it. It was his wife. His wife killed him. Yeah, let me tell you a little bit who Chris Watts is. He's a guy... Alright, I'm going to explain this the shortest way possible. He's a guy who threw his life away because of another woman, and he basically blamed his wife for killing his 2 daughters and his unborn son. And that's all I'm going to say. Because I don't want to spoil the goddamn video of the whole thing. And if you guys ask me when that video is going to come out, I'm going to say a year from now. Happy? Shush. Alright, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you guys when the video is going to come out. The video is going to come out eventually on Chris Watts. Don't worry about it. I already know a lot about Chris Watts. I already know who he is. I've seen so many videos. So, yeah, and right now we're going to focus on Richard Ramirez. Alright, and wrote him dozens of letters. Okay, just like Chris Watts, there's a lot of women that love to write to Chris Watts all the time in prison. Saying, hey, I support you. Hey, you're innocent. I'm trying to get my cat out of here. Nope. Guys, I'm just trying to get my cat on here because she's like, because she's trying to get in this video. Plus, I just want to hurry up and finish this video. Okay, anyway. Yep, just like Chris Watts, Richard Ramirez received letters in prison about stuff. Before they eventually met at San Quentin. According to the Los Angeles Times, Loy was loyal to Ramirez and visited him in prison 4 times a week. However, her family disowned her following their marriage. Yeah, because he's a killer. Honestly, if I had a kid who said, "Hey, who came up to me saying, "Hey, Mom, I have a new relationship," I'd be like, "Oh, okay. Who's this person? And what's their occupation? And can I meet them?" And my kid would be like, "Oh, I don't know how to. Oh, you can't actually see him." I'll be like, "Why not?" And my kid would be like, "Oh, he's in jail." I'm like, "Jail?" I'd be like, "Jail? What's he in jail for?" "Oh, he's in jail for murder." You're disowned. 'Cause, guys, I would do the same thing. Because I would be concerned for my child, basically. 'Cause, I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but I'm guessing, because I'm guessing they found out that she was doing this. I don't know. Alright, anyway, so Lloyd reportedly severed her relationship, severed her relationship with Ramirez in 2009 when a DNA sample connected him to a rape of a 9-year-old girl in San Francisco on April 10th, 1984. There is no official record of divorce. The couple had no children. Honestly, who would want to have children? Who would want to have children with Richard Ramirez? Honestly, if anyone had any children with Richard Ramirez, I feel like they would name him Ricky. I don't know. That's a good name to it. Yeah, they had no children, which is a good thing. Because honestly, who wants to have a child with any serial killer? I mean, John Wayne Gacy had children even before he became a killer, and then Ted Bundy had a child, which I think that happened during when he was a killer. Pretty sure. Yep. I mean, Chris Watts had oh, yeah. Except for Chris Watts wasn't a full-time murderer. He only killed his wife and he killed his daughters because it was all him. It was all him. And I'm not gonna tell you guys when the video's gonna come out. I'm not gonna reveal it. I'm not gonna reveal that video. I'm not gonna reveal it. I'm not gonna reveal when the video's gonna come out. You guys will have to wait and see on the video. Yeah, it says, and Richard Ramirez is not known to have fathered any children during his lifetime. A woman named Christine Lee Christopher Lee Watts. Okay. Alright, I'm done with Chris Watts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been researching way too much on that crap. I'm gonna give a shout out to that person at the end of this video. Alright, Christine Lee claimed on Geraldo, I think it's Geraldo Rivera's talk show. I don't know who that is. Geraldo Rivera. I don't know who that is. Talk show that she was engaged to Ramirez, but didn't offer any details on their relationship. Something tells me that never happened. That they didn't marry. Alright, Ramirez's long-awaited appeal finally made it to the California State Supreme Court in 2006, a year before I was born, y'all. Before being rejected. After nearly 24 years on death row, Richard died on June 7th, 2013, at the age of 53. He didn't die like he was supposed to, guys. He basically did stuff. He died. He died of natural causes. This is what happens to like most people who are on death row. Before they even die, they end up either getting killed, like Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer got killed by an inmate. He wasn't on death row though, but he was like he was in prison for life. And then some people die. Some people die in prison. Like another person that I'm gonna be talking in my next video. I'm not gonna reveal what my next Freaky Friday video will be. I'm not gonna reveal that. You guys can figure that out on your own. Yeah. Okay. From complications related to Belsy. Oh my god, I'm gonna screw this up. Lymphomia. I think it's how you pronounce it. According to San Quentin corrections officers, Richard Ramirez's death came within days after he was taken to Marin General Hospital in Greenbrae, California. I don't know how I said Greenbrae. I don't know how I said that. He likely died alone, as friends and family would have not been allowed inside his secured room. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, a little thing here. He actually appeared up in American Horror Story. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, oh my god, it's gonna be hard for me to explain. I haven't seen this in forever. So, American Horror Story is a series. If you guys never seen it, it's basically, I would have to look that up for myself. I don't know. I'm an idiot. So, Richard Ramirez became a character in this series. It says here he appears as a ghost. Yeah, he first appears as a ghost in the 5th season Hotel, then a fictionalized version of himself, played by Zach Villa, is the main character in the 2019 season. The show's 9th title, 1984, Ramirez is portrayed as a serial killer stalking counselors in a summer camp. Yeah. Oh yeah, and here's some quotes made by him, by the way. So the first one was the one that I read before. Hey, big deal, death always comes with territory. I'll see you in Disneyland. The next one is, I believe in the human nature. This is a wicked, wicked world. In a wicked, wicked world, wicked, wicked people are born. Like him. Next one is, I don't care about myself, really. I don't care what happens to me. I never did, really. Yeah. So yeah, Richard Ramirez was a very fucked up guy. Yeah, he's basically like Ted Bundy, except for he didn't just go after men, he also went after women as well, except for they were husband and wife. Okay, so yeah, so Richard Ramirez was like a really weird guy. Not gonna lie. Oh, okay, and another thing about Richard Ramirez is that a lot of people, I don't know what is people's deal, but okay, I don't know why this exists, but a lot of people, I've watched a video about this a very long time ago. I would probably have to link this video in, like, my post section because it's very stupid. So, it was a video about it was about it was a video that somebody made, and they were talking about why people have a thing for killers and all that stuff. Like, they worship killers. Like, people, there's like girls out there that say, "Oh, Richard Ramirez is hot, and I love him, and he was so innocent." There's like a lot of people out there who think that Jeffrey Dahmer's hot. A lot of people out there think that a whole bunch of serial killers are hot. Honestly, guys, why does that exist? Why do people like what the hell? I mean, I've seen people fall in love with Randy Stair. I've seen people fall in love with Columbine shooters. I mean, I like Randy Stair's videos. I'm not gonna lie. I know. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, didn't you do a video with Randy Stair and the Ghost Squad in it? And I've seen you make videos about you reacting to Randy Stair's videos. Yeah, guys. Except for I'm not all that obsessed. I mean, I've seen people glorify these guys. I mean, hey, I know, stop yelling at me. I know, I did videos on Randy Stair. I've also done videos and stuff. I don't know. But the things with these guys, it's weird. It's pretty weird with this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, alright, now I'm looking up his I'm looking up his, like, I'm looking up his, like, home life, because, yeah, like I mentioned, he was in, so he was born in Texas, like I mentioned. He was, like, the youngest of 5 children. His parents were Mexican immigrants, makes sense. Let's see. Oh, yeah, so his cousin, like I mentioned, so I went on to Britannica, and it says that his cousin basically shot his wife. Oh, yeah, so, and also around this time, Ramirez began breaking into homes and, like, at a very young age. Yeah, I'm trying to look for more stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to look for more stuff to continue on this. Okay, so his home environment was very abusive. So Richard's father was known to have a violent and abusive towards his wife and children, often reporting to physical punishment. According to Oxygen, a docu-series details how Ramirez grew up surrounded by disturbing dysfunction. Yeah, so at 13, his cousin happened. Let's see, and then his cousin also bragged about what happened in Vietnam, and then he had drugs, and then, yeah. So, I'm gonna look up more of Richard Ramirez's parents, because I want to talk about all that stuff. So, yeah, he had a lot of siblings, which, that's gotta be crazy. Like, honestly, imagine being the youngest of a lot of siblings. I don't know if his parents still liked him. I don't know if his parents still liked him. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if she's still alive, though. Oh, wait, no, she's not, actually. Yeah, no, so they were, like, immigrants. His parents were, like, immigrants. Alright, guys, so I found a thing that talks about, like, I'm hoping this is the right thing. I don't know if this is it. Yeah, so it basically says Richard Ramirez was born on February 16, 1927 in Camargo, Mexico. He was married to Mercedes Ramirez. He died on August 19th, 1991 in El Paso County, Texas. and then Mercedes Ramirez, and we go to her. Yeah, she died 2016. Okay, so she was born on April 10th, 1927, in Colorado, USA. She was married to Julian Ramirez. She died on April 12th, 2016. So I'm guessing, yep, she died on 89. I'm hoping these are the right people. I could be wrong. Oh, wait. I could be wrong. Yeah, so all of his siblings' names are Ruth Ramirez, there's Ruben, there's Robert, and there's also Joseph. So he only had one sister. Yeah, he only had one sister. And then all of them are... Yeah. All of them are like the older... Okay, so back to the book I was talking about. So the book that I was talking about, let me find it. That was talking about the Golden State Killer. I think I might do... I found it. Okay, so the book was called I'll Be Gone in the Dark. It was written by a woman named Michelle. A little sad thing is that this woman who wrote the book actually passed away, and she basically had to... Well, the book was finished. It was helped on by another person. Yes, so she passed away April 21st, 2016 at 46 years old. And she passed away from accidental overdose. And the book came out, let me see, 2018. So, 2 years after her passing. So, 2 years. Now, I've read the book. I don't have any memories of any of it. I tried reading it. My school actually had this book. I borrowed it. Yeah, that case was, like, very messed up. Like, it was about the Golden State Killer. Who I might make a video about. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, so that was all about Richard Ramirez. Richard Ramirez is, like, yeah. Yeah, Richard Ramirez. What to talk about Richard Ramirez? Yeah, his childhood was something. His childhood was something. I gotta tell you guys that. It was something, guys. It was something. His childhood was something. That's what happens with these guys. That's what happens with these serial killers. Because I see a pattern. It's like their childhood is very dark. They have abusive households. They get physiological trauma. And sometimes is the outcome of the case. Pretty. Okay, sorry guys. Sorry. I was just checking out something. Alright, sorry guys, I was just checking out something. Yeah, so basically that's what happens. Not gonna lie. Yeah. So that's what happens sometimes in some cases. Now, I know a lot of people are probably thinking, well, what else can inspire killers? I don't know. There's many things that, there is, like, many other things that can actually happen with, like, killers and stuff. Like, I heard of, like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of patterns with killers. Like, sometimes their childhood is, like, pretty good, and then they just ruin it or something. I don't know. Like, a lot of traumatizing things happen in this household. Like, I don't know. Like, with Richard Ramirez, like, with, like I mentioned in Ted Bundy's, like, childhood, Ted Bundy, his childhood was, like, off to a bad start in the first place. Because his mom ended up getting pregnant with him at, like, a very early age. And then his grandparents were like, hell no. Hell no. You're going to a home for unwed mothers because this is basically an embarrassment to the family. So then the grandparents, like, adopted him and saying, hey, we're your parents. This is your sister, totally not your mother. And then he found out that his mom was his sister. Now, there is actually another case that I've actually heard that same exact detail from, except for it's not actually like a serial killer case. It was actually a shooter case, of a guy named Thomas Hamilton. I think that's what his name was, and yeah, I don't know. It's hard to remember this crap, guys. And then in Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood, I mentioned that his parents were not that great. I mean, his dad was always working. His mom had issues, like mental issues, like always doing drugs and stuff like that. She had like very bad mental issues. Which, if you guys go watch the Netflix series Dahmer, Monsters Dahmer, that's what it's called. I forgot what it's originally called. You would see like scenes from Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood, basically the mom basically on drugs and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah. And then you're probably wondering, well, if they don't have psychological trauma and if they're totally fine, why else do people do this? Well, it's because people like to throw their lives away, guys. Like Chris Watts. Like, I'm not getting him into... No. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna... And this isn't about him. This video ain't about him. He can be in my next video. Like, yeah, so what will happen next week? What will be next week's video? I don't know, guys. I may have a new plan for a new video. I don't know what the next video will be. Who knows? Anyway, oh yeah, by the way, shout out to Real Killers for making Chris Watts content and for actually doing true crime content. You are an amazing guy. I'll link his channel into my post video, like in my posts, because I want to actually, you guys go check out his channel. He's a true crime channel. I watch his channel a lot. I love his Chris Watts videos because I don't know. He loves that stuff. I like that stuff. He loves that stuff. Chris Watts is like an interesting video. And shout out to another YouTuber called Plunder. I love her videos too. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I'm hoping it's Plunder, because I watch her videos too. Now, she also makes like Chris Watts videos, which I really love. I don't know. I'm a Chris Watts person, guys. I love researching this crap. I love researching Chris Watts. I don't know. If you guys would have to look at the whole story. I mean, I watch like news stories and documentaries. I've seen body cam videos. I've seen the documentary, American Murder, the Family Next Door. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of Chris Watts. I've seen a lot of Chris Watts videos. And funny thing, guys, I've actually done a whole presentation on Chris Watts earlier this year in my forensics class, because we had to choose a serial killer or some type of killer, some type of murderer, and all the good ones that I know were taken. So basically, I came up with the good idea to do Chris Watts. And my teacher, I'm still pissed at this to this day, and I could have went up to my teacher and yelled, "Hey, idiot, I know all this." No, I'm not just kidding. I would go, "Lady." No, I would go up to her and say, "Hey, lady, I know all of this. I know all the information about Chris Watts." So, later that day, she actually emailed me, my teacher, she actually emailed me saying, "Hey, so, I want you to change your killer because I feel like you don't know anything about him," even though he did, because, guys, I'm good at Chris Watts stuff. I have all that jammed in my head. I know everything about Chris Watts. I've seen all kinds of documentaries and all that crap. So, yeah, so I've spent over hours and hours and hours of my own time doing this whole entire project. So, basically, I've looked up all kinds of pictures, I looked at all kinds of, details. I think I remember some of the slides I did. I did introduction to who the victims were, and I did, the whole backstory of Chris Watts and Shanann, and then like their 2 daughters, and then the pregnancy. I also did I also put down where they lived because that's important. I also put down like the whole day. I also mentioned her friend and all that stuff. Yeah, and then I put in what happened, all that stuff, Chris's mistress, all that stuff. Which, guys, I was proud of that. And this teacher, instead of coming up, and this teacher actually, I stick to it. And I even showed this to a teacher who I really cared about. And not my forensics teacher, it's a whole different teacher. I showed her that. She's like, oh my god, you did this all by yourself? I'm like, yeah. She was impressed. And I wish I could have gotten, I wish that my forensics teacher would have come up to me, after, like, doing the projects, because I did really well on it. And I also put down, like, the aftermath and Dieter and the dog that they had. Yep, so basically I basically just went up to, yeah, I wish my forensics teacher would have come up to me, and she's like, oh my god, I was so impressed with your presentation. Yeah, guys, my forensics teacher didn't really give a shit, like, pretty much about me. I had her for, like, 11th grade chemistry, and she's not that type of teacher. Yeah. She got pretty mad at me when I didn't want to do a diorama, because she gave, like, us options to do diorama, or you can do, like, online, like, you can do, like, a Google Slide thing, and I told her that I wanted to do Google Slide, so I did pretty lazy on it. I just chose, like, a basic, case with, like, a lot of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Chris spots is the thing. So, yeah, that video is going to come out soon. Not next week, though. Not next week. I think the video is going to come out 2 weeks later. Not next week. Yep. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Freaky Friday video. I know I'm back. It's been a while. I know I posted shorts, like, a while back ago. Because I don't know. I've been busy. I've been busy doing my own thing. You know, just playing with my friends, all that stuff, doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I will go back to filming, though. I just, I've been taking time, just hanging out, doing whatever. Alright, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.